Hi, I'm Ferris J, helping pets and people to heal. Today I want to talk about the courage that it takes to make changes in your life. With a lot of my clients, I work with people who have anxiety or fear, maybe fear for their pet's future. Maybe they're nervous because of their pet's condition and they're kind of helicoptering over them, or they're scared about how long they have left with them. Fear and anxiety come up in my work a lot. And I had an experience last week working with a client that I really want to share because I know somebody needs to hear this today, okay? I hope it's you, and I hope you get a good takeaway from it. So last week I was working with one of my clients and they had anxiety come back. And we've done some beautiful work together to help her work through anxiety. And it had come back again and she was like, but I've worked on this, why is it back? And I was talking to her about how our thoughts and beliefs, that they can be habits, they can be like a well-worn path. And for her, the anxiety of being a well-worn path that she's been down a lot. And if she's tired or stressed, she can default back to that autopilot of down the anxiety path. And we've done beautiful work together already. And the first thing I always suggest is to set your intention for what is it you'd like instead. So for her, she did not want to be anxious. It's not helping her. It's not helping her nervous system or her life or her to think clearly. So what would she prefer instead? To be calm and clear-headed, to be kind to herself when she's making decisions, all those sorts of things. So that's where she wants to go. That's the path that she wants to go on. And yes, sometimes, as I'm using this analogy of the path, I say sometimes you find yourself on autopilot down the old path. And that's because it can take repetition until the old path is not used as much and the new path is used more. So it's incremental steps. Even though she might feel she's taking a step forward and two back, she's still actually making that new path slightly more worn. Although sometimes, especially when stressed, she'll go back to the other. And I talked to her about increments. So it takes that repetition and consistency. And then there'll be a time where there's a tipping point, that new path becomes the well-worn path. It becomes what you default to, and you're automatically kinder to yourself, gentler with yourself, trusting that things will work out. And as I was explaining this to her, I often get pictures in my mind, and I could see the paths, the neural pathways in the brain, and I could see the old habitual one, I could see the new one that was not quite so well traversed. And there was a really touching moment, and this is why I'm making the video, where I could feel, and I was even talking about, even rerouting from, you don't have to go right the way back and across, you can actually, boop, reroute. It's like, and I thought of the neurons jumping the synapse. And in that moment where I could see that neuron jumping, I was really touched that it took courage and it took energy, and it brings tears to my eyes even when I think back to it, that making those changes, that choosing again and again and again for what you want, takes courage. It literally takes energy in your brain to make that choice. So don't get discouraged if there are days where whoop, you've booked down that old pathway. You will reach a tipping point, and it's not always easy, but if you have the intention and if you have the courage to keep choosing again and again, you will get there. You will reach that tipping point, I promise you. And if you want my personal help, I'll leave a link below that you can get in touch with me if you want to work with me, because sometimes having an ally makes a huge difference. Somebody who's there to support you step by step. If you are watching on YouTube, you can like and subscribe to see future videos, and leave a comment below. Let me know how you embrace change? Do you find you need that courage? How do you get that courage? For her and for me, it's remembering why it's important to change. It's remembering that we're worth being kind to ourselves. We're worth to having a good life where we can feel calm, clear-headed, whatever it is that is different. It is worth it. It is worth that journey, and you will reach that tipping point. I've been Ferris J. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.